All right, we are live now, apparently only doing YouTube videos because no one wants to Zoom anymore. Not cool enough, I guess. So, we had some pretty big news today. Visa partnered with Ethereum, and pretty much all they are doing is settling transactions with other cryptocurrency merchants, so it doesn't really mean anything yet until companies start actually accepting cryptocurrency. And they're doing it through crypto.com. So as a token called CRO, which it surprisingly hasn't popped that much, but it's gone up like 7 to 10% or something like that. But crypto CRO's gone up at least 4 or 5x in the past month or so. It's pretty cool. You can use your you can get debit cards out of it and get like 12% cash back on Bitcoin if you stake their like $1 million of their currency or something. But yeah, so that means crypto.com is going to do pretty well. Visa said they were going to add other companies other than crypto.com to do the settlements. But yeah, ridiculously bullish news for Ethereum. Um, it's just kind of slap in the face, reminding that Ethereum is kind of the best blockchain out there, and there's all these other blockchains that are popping up trying to market themselves and gain some attention. But in reality, like ETH is just going to destroy everything, and there's no doubt about that in my mind at all. And big companies really like Visa don't care about gas, and they're willing to pay the gas fee just to have the security of Ethereum versus like Binance Smart Chain or something that like has gotten hacked before and stuff. Just their Ethereum is extremely secure. It's not as secure as Bitcoin, but Bitcoin doesn't have anything built on top of it. So uh, Bitcoin will have stuff built on top of it, but right now Ethereum is just the way to go. Um, and yeah, they just don't really have any other option than Ethereum, honestly. Like Cardano won't even be usable until the middle of this summer sometime. And then the launch of Optimism was delayed, but doesn't really mean anything. Um, like Polkadot is gonna come out, and Polkadot's gonna be really good for Ethereum and really good for Bitcoin. So, and it'll save all the gas fee problems. And I think most people are gonna move up because there's stuff like Compound, Aave. There'll be decentralized exchanges and stuff like that on Polkadot, where you'll be able to trade all the Ethereum tokens and all the Polkadot tokens, and you'll be able to stake ETH, you'll be able to stake Bitcoin. So Polkadot is just gonna do really well because the Optimism launch was delayed. So as long as you have some Polkadot projects, you're doing fine. Bitcoin wise, it's just mainly a lot of institutions are trying to get stuff passed so they can buy Bitcoin. And there's this ETF or exchange traded fund, which is what an exchange traded fund is essentially just some company. They're only the only thing they do is they just buy Bitcoin, and then you just buy shares in their company that only owns Bitcoin. And so one of them passed in Canada. There's some that are already passed over in like Europe, but there hasn't been one that's been passed in the US yet. And if it was to get passed in the US, then you could go on any like brokerage like TD Ameritrade or Charles Schwab or whatever, and you would just go and you would buy like NBTC or WBTC or some just stock ticker that had BTC in it, where you were essentially buying Bitcoin, but you don't actually have any keys for it. So it's way easier. The main advantage of this is basically like if you're some kind of investor that's trying to help their clients invest in stocks or something like that, you don't want to be like, okay, so you got to download a Bitcoin wallet. You got to go to this site. You got to buy the Bitcoin. You got to save your private keys. You got to send this Bitcoin to this thing. So then you actually own your currency. And that's just not something clients are looking for in these big companies. So they just want a way where they can just tell their client, or they can just type in a ticker into the same old thing they use all the time. Um, and it's just going to add a ton more money coming into the space. So a lot like Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, all these huge companies are all applying for Bitcoin ETFs. And eventually there'll be ETH ETFs, and um, a lot of different currencies will have ETFs. But first, we just need to get a Bitcoin ETF going. So why do we care? Well, it'll cause the price of Bitcoin. It'll cause a lot more volatility in Bitcoin for sure. Likely it'll cause the price to go up a lot, but it's going to add a bunch of like really weird dynamics to crypto to stuff, which I don't really know what it's going to do to the market. The whole point of Bitcoin is to like exchange it peer to peer. The whole point of Ethereum is to like use it as collateral and use DeFi and these decentralized exchanges and have like freedom and actually own your money. And then these ETFs come in and they're just like, oh yeah, you just buy this and the price of it goes up. And like you don't actually own the Bitcoin. You can't use it as collateral. It's just kind of this useless ticker that sits on your computer. So it's not really the direction that we all want crypto to go in, but it definitely does allow more money to easily come in the space. So overall, it's a good thing, but there's a lot of people who have things to say about it. Polkadot wise, Polkadot, mainly Kusama, the sister to Polkadot that's going to be doing the parachain auctions first, is going to just like, I wouldn't be surprised if most stuff like went up 100 to like 1000% in the next month to 3 months. It's the next couple months are going to mainly be focused on Kusama, as all the parachain auctions for Kusama are coming through. They had a test, so Kusama's like the testnet sister of Polkadot, and then there's this thing called Rococo, which is the actual testnet to Kusama. And but it's like a real testnet, like everything is fake in it, like there's no real money in it. And they did a fake parachain auction, and Akala won the fake parachain auction. So they have like everything, they have all the code lined up and stuff to start the Kusama parachain auctions here pretty soon. And Polkadot won't really be doing like they haven't really announced when the Polkadot parachain auctions will be, which is probably going to be a ways after all the Kusama ones. So the attention on, I'm way more bullish on Kusama in the short term than Polkadot. And Kusama is likely going to end up just being its own blockchain, just like Polkadot. And Kusama has a smaller, everything's just going to get jump started on Kusama. And I honestly think Kusama should have like a similarly close market cap to Polkadot. So while the price of Kusama go up, you need it to essentially, the whole point of what Kusama is it's like Ethereum. You pay transaction fees with Kusama, and you have to stake Kusama in order to secure a parachain slot for your cryptocurrency. So say we're all investing in Akala network, they do a crowd fund, we give Akala network, they are Kusama, and they lock it up for 6 months. So this, on the supply side, everything just gets locked up. And then if demand stays the same or increases, then the price is just going to go absolutely crazy. And the price of Kusama has been rising because people are all buying it in anticipation of these parachain auctions coming around, which is why like a month ago I was saying everyone should buy Kusama because this is going to happen, and it's happening. But once the parachain auctions actually start and then people actually stake their Kusama, like that's when it really, really, really will get going. And when all the YouTubers just start, everything's going to be about Kusama for a couple weeks at least, when these first parachain auctions come through. And it'll be pretty fun. Like there'll be all of these different cryptocurrencies that are all trying to do the auction, and it'll be live and you can see it like on chain, and you can see who wins, who got second place, who got third place, who's going to come around. Every 2 weeks there'll be a Polkadot, or there'll be a parachain auction, and you'll have to like buy the cryptocurrency that you think will win the next one. And so it'll be a grand time. Looking forward to that. And then there's Cardano, which kind of just faked everyone out. Pretty funny. They're the whole news was essentially that it was getting listed on Coinbase, which was great in all, made the price go up, but it's not really insanely bullish news. But the main thing that was supposed to be the big news was they're going to do a contract with an African country. I forget, I think it was Nigeria or something like that. And so like essentially the whole country is just going to run on Cardano, which is pretty cool. So Cardano really isn't looking to like take the market share away from Ethereum or other blockchains. It's mainly focusing itself on undeserved people in unstable governments and economies. But it's probably going to steal some of the market share of Ethereum, which is if it does, if it's better, if it's cheaper, if it's more secure, that's great. But their main launch to enable smart contracts is going to be, they just said sometime this summer. It was supposed to be this month, and then now it's sometime this summer, which Cardano is a completely useless ghost chain until someone actually builds a product on it. So there's a lot of these people that just hype the shit out of Cardano, and like it's nothing right now. Like Cardano would go away, could go away, and just the crypto space would be exactly the same as it was before. So Cardano is really going to take off once it gets all these partnerships with the African countries, and once they actually get their mainnet launch out so they can actually be a real cryptocurrency. So probably Cardano is more like a Q3, Q4 kind of thing, but I'm sure it'll go to $5 to $10 this bull run. And Cardano is just going to track, like if Ethereum and Bitcoin go up a lot, Cardano is just going to go up a lot, even though there's no news about it really. It's just a popular enough coin, and it has just a ridiculous fan base just from all the marketing they've done. Their marketing has been really good, and they have some diehard fans for something that is nothing. So there's Binance BNB token and the Binance Smart Chain, which is just like they basically took ETH and they just copied it, and then they only made 5 nodes, all centralized in like China. So transactions are super cheap, and they could just like press one button and just shut the whole cryptocurrency down and the Binance Smart Chain down. It's not like truly decentralized or anything. And it's just kind of like a fake blockchain, but the fees are really cheap, which is great. And you can buy like Freeway token and other stuff like that on it. But just be careful because there's a ton of scam coins and rug pulls, which is when people like are providing liquidity on like Pancake Swap, and then all of a sudden they just remove all their liquidity, and now you can no longer sell the coin, and you just got scammed out of stuff. So that's why I haven't really recommended anyone to use Binance Smart Chain. But there are some decent projects that are all just straight up cloned off of Ethereum. That like Pancake Swap is the Uniswap, and then there's Cake, which is the compound version. But lending on the Binance Smart Chain, just like I'm not gonna put $5,000 in of wrapped Ethereum into Binance into Cake. Like no. I will pay a $35 gas fee to use Compound instead for the security. So because Pancake Swap got hacked like 2 weeks ago, and they just stole a ton of people's money who are providing liquidity. And it's just like, because they're running on Amazon Web Services, so they're not even really like, yeah, it's a weird. It solves the Ethereum gas fee problem, but does not solve other true cryptocurrency problems. Um, and certain coins will say they're available on like Pancake Swap. So if you go onto MetaMask, I think I have the website linked in here, but you can basically switch to you basically make a new network, and then you can use the Binance Smart Chain. And you just send like BNB to your MetaMask wallet or your ETH address. So it's sort of seamless in a way. So people were asking what futures expiration was. So I don't really understand it, but I sort of understand it, and you don't really need to understand it. But essentially, big money is now really starting to get into cryptocurrency, and that means that big money is betting on the price of crypto without actually buying the crypto in these futures like derivative expiration markets. And I'm pretty sure what they do is they bet that the price of Bitcoin will go up, and they bet that the price of Bitcoin will go down without actually owning any of the cryptocurrency. They just buy the right to buy and sell Bitcoin. So they'll, like at the last bull run, for example, they'll bet that the price will get to 60K, and then they'll bet that the price will get to 40K. So when the price gets to 60K, then they uh I forget, they like strike that call option or something and end it. And then they make money off that because the price goes up. So that you have until the last Friday of the month to end your futures thing. And so they end that like a week before when the price is really high. And then the one that they say where the money is going to, where they think Bitcoin is going to go down, then they sell a bunch of Bitcoin so they can exercise their call option or futures contract, and they try and get the price as low, as close to 40,000 as possible, so they lose the least amount of money. But yeah, it's confusing. I don't really understand it. If someone could look into it and understand it more than that, but I spent like an hour and a half reading on stuff, and I was just like, I think I get this. But essentially, futures expiration is just gonna kind of screw with the price of cryptocurrency. But it means nothing. Like in the last week of a month, if the price goes, it should be expected to get up to a 25 to 30% correction maximum. If it's like 40%, then that's a little more than what it should be. But the week before the last Friday of every month, we should see some volatility continuing. But now everybody kind of knows that it's going to happen. So I imagine it'll be kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. So I'm probably going to take some profits. I got to pay for some Bitcoin miners anyway, but that might be the strategy going forward. So things I'm looking to buy right now or have recently bought. I mean, if you don't have like Chainx, right now, which was a pretty solid buy. If you don't have Kusama yet, that's a solid buy. Freeway token is getting down there. Probably wouldn't recommend buying Axis at the moment. But yeah, buying Chainx wouldn't be horrible. It's gone up quite a bit, but it's probably going to keep up going more. I mean, the market cap is only 100 something, 127 million, so it's still pretty low. Um, then Super Farm is also a pretty good buy. Then UOS, which I talked about in the chat a couple days ago. It's like Steam, the gaming platform where you'll be able to like buy and sell video games. but they'll be NFTs. So you can buy an NFT for $60 and play the game, and then when you're done, you can actually like resell the NFT for whatever the market price is, which is pretty cool. And then all the money goes directly to like the game developers and stuff like that. Um, so I just think it's really cool. The market cap is pretty small. It's under $200 million. Um, and then there is also Eternity Chain, which is an NFT play, um, which I was looking to buy at $3, and I did not buy it because it already like 8x'd right when the coin came on the market. So I was like, I'm not gonna buy that. That was a lot more than that. Yeah, it's already the two. It came out like a month ago, and it's already in the top, almost to the top 200. But basically, what it is it's like huge sports players, uh, football players, soccer players, et cetera, are all going to like exclusively release NFTs of their like jerseys or pictures of them or something like that on Eternity Chain. Yeah, just in the last month alone, I think the price, yeah, went from was $3 and now it's $60. um so it's already grown a lot, but I honestly think it could grow at least quite a bit more. You could compare it to like Chili's, which this is at 343 million and Chili's is at 3 billion. So, yeah. Um but yeah, those are kind of the coins that I'm looking at buying right now. But really just the Polkadot ecosystem is anything that's like NFT gaming or the Polkadot ecosystem is really what's going to um, be popping off. But that is all I have for now. Hope it wasn't too boring. I'll talk to you later.